The following is a public hall lecture entitled How to be Successful, given by His Grace Shriman Sankarshan Das Adhikari, recorded on May 21st, 2012, in Burgas, Bulgaria.
Shri Guru Shri Jata Badakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajiva Sadaitam Zavadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha. So, I have been asked to speak to you about the success. Yes. How does one become successful in life? The first thing is one has to know what is success. Whatever success you may achieve, if you're not happy, then what's the use of it? So the real success in life is to become free from anxiety. People think, well, if I can have a lot of money, then I'll be happy. Or if I become famous, I'll become happy. Or if I'm elected to some political post, I will become happy. But in spite of achieving their desire, they are still unhappy. So the real success in life is to become happy. So how do you become happy? Actually, to be happy is the normal state. So why is it that most people are unhappy these days? It's because we are living in an abnormal, unnatural condition at the present time. Just like a fish, if he's in the water, he's happy. If you take a fish out of the water, he will be unhappy. You may say, my dear Mr. Fish, I see you were very unhappy. I will give you a Mercedes-Benz. That will make you happy.
Затова ще ти дам един Мерцедес-Бенц. Това ще направи щастлив.
I'll give you a nice apartment. Will that make you happy?
Ако ти дам един хубав апартамент, това ще направи ли щастлив?
I'll give you a beautiful girlfriend. Will that make you happy?
Ще ти дам много красива приятелка. Това ще направи ли щастлив?
No matter what you give to that fish, I give you a big cigar.
Мога да ти дам една голяма пура.
Or a very first class guitar.
Или първокласна китара.
You see? Whatever you try to give to that fish,
Каквото и да се опитате да дадете на тази риба,
as long as you keep him on the land, he will not be happy.
докато тя остава на сушата, никога не може да е щастлива.
To make him happy on the land is impossible
Да бъде щастлива на сушата не е възможно.
because it is not his natural environment.
Защото това не е естествената й среда.
All you have to be happy is pick that fellow up and throw him back in the water.
Всичко, което трябва да направите, за да е щастлива тя, е да я хванете и да я пуснете обратно във водата.
And then immediately he'll be swimming here, swimming there. He'll be so happy and back in the water again, you see.
И веднага тя ще почне да плува насам натам, толкова щастлива, че отново е във водата.
So our modern day civilization is creating a situation where we are like fish out of the water.
Така, съвременната цивилизация създава такова положение, че ние се чувстваме като риба извън водата.
Jala vina yena mina. Radharani said that. There's a great devotee, her name is Radharani. And she said, Jala vina yena mina. Like a fish out of water.
Има една велика предано дадена, нейното име е Радharani, и тя казала като риба извън водата.
So that is our present situation. Jalavina yenamina. We are like fish out of water.
Това е нашето сегашно състояние. Ние сме като риба извадена от вода.
So, what is the water?
И коя е тази вода?
And how we can get back in the water?
И как можем да се върнем в водата?
That is what I have traveled all the way from America to tell you about here today.
Ето затова съм дошъл чак от Америка, за да ви разкажа за това тази вечер.
How you can get back in the water.
Как вие можете да се върнете обратно във водата?
How you can wake up every morning with a big smile on your face.
Как може всяка сутрин да се будите с голяма усмивка на лицето?
Wow, another day to be happy.
И да си мислите, още един ден, в който да съм щастлив.
So here's how you do it.
Ето как може да го направите.
You have to understand who you are.
Трябва да разберете кои сте всъщност.
This is called Atma Tattva,
Това се нарича Атма Татва.
the science of the self.
Или науката за душата.
You have to understand who you are.
Трябва да разберете кои сте вие.
How are we trained to think in this world?
Как сме обучавани да мислим в този свят?
We are trained to think that I am this body.
Нас са ни учили да си мислим, че ние сме тези тела.
This flesh and blood and bones is me.
Ние си мислиме, че тази плът, кръв и кости, това съм аз.
Would you like to be a lump of flesh and bones and blood? Would you like to be that?
Бихте ли искали да сте купчина плът, кости и кръв?
That flesh and bones and blood, it gets old, it gets sick, and it dies.
Тази купчина от кости, кръв и плът се разболява, остарява и умира.
How many of you here today in this room like to get sick?
Колко от вас тук присъстващите в залата обичат да се разболяват?
Do any of you like to get old?
Някой от вас обича ли да остарява?
How about death? Would you like to die right now? Anybody would like to die right now?
А какво да кажем за смъртта? Има ли някой от вас, който да иска да умре сега?
These things are unnatural for us. We don't want to get sick. We don't want to get old, and we don't want to die.
Тези неща са неестествени за нас. Ние не искаме да се разболяваме, да умираме.
But yet we are forced by the laws of nature, not we, but our bodies are forced by the laws of nature to get sick, to get old and die.
Но ние, всъщност не ние, а телата ни са принудени от законите на материалната природа да се разболяват, остаряват и умират.
How would you like it If I can introduce you to a you who doesn't get sick, who doesn't get old, who doesn't die, would you like to meet that version of yourself?
Как ще ви се стори, ако аз ви представя такава версия на самите вас, която никога не остарява, не се разболява и не умира?
Yes, my point is this: you haven't met yourself yet. You don't know who you are.
Точно това е, което искам да ви кажа. Вие всъщност не знаете кои сте.
That's why we are suffering right now in this world.
И това е причината, заради която страдаме в този свят.
Because we don't know who we are.
Защото ние не знаем кои сме всъщност.
Our actual identity is not this material body.
Нашата истинска същност е, че ние не сме това материално тяло.
Our actual identity is that we are spiritual.
Истинската ни същност е, че ние сме духовни.
Where do we come from?
А откъде идваме?
Do we come from the monkeys?
Дали сме произлезли от маймуните?
Like Charles Darwin said?
Както е казал Чарлз Дарвин?
Or do we come from God?
Или сме дошли от Бога?
You see? According to Mr. Darwin, we're just a bunch of monkeys.
Според господин Дарвин, ние сме просто едно стадо маймуни.
Now I think Charles Darwin is a monkey.
Но аз мисля, че Чарлз Дарвин е бил маймуна.
That I will accept.
Това аз бих приел.
But we are not from the monkeys.
Но ние не сме дошли от маймуните.
We are coming from God. You see?
Ние произлизаме от Бога.
God is the Supreme Spirit.
Бог е върховният дух.
And because we are coming from God, we are also spirit.
И понеже произлизаме от Бога, нашата природа също е духовна.
He is the big spirit and we are the tiny spirit. You see?
Той е големия, велик дух, а ние сме малки, незначителни.
God is the fire and we are the sparks from the fire.
Богът е като огъня, а ние сме като искрите в огъня.
So the spark comes out of the fire. You've seen the sparks, they sometimes fly out of the fire, you see.
Понякога сте виждали как една искра може да се отдели от огъня.
When they fall out of the fire, what happens to them? They go out, they lose, they die. The fire and that spark will die, you see.
Когато искрата падне далеч от огъня, тя изгубва блясъка си.
But if that spark stays in the fire or somehow gets back in the fire, then it doesn't die.
Но ако тази искра остане в огъня или по някакъв начин се върне в огъня, тя продължава да искри.
So when I'm telling you, you are like a spark out of the fire. That's why you're unhappy right now.
И затова ви казвам, че вие сте като една искра, която излезе от огъня и затова сте нещастни в момента.
So you have the fire has brilliance and it has heat.
Огънят има сияние, има и топлина.
God is full of light, He's full of knowledge, and He's full of bliss.
Богът е изпълнен с светлина, знание и блаженство.
You are also full of light, full of knowledge, and full of bliss, because you are a spark of God.
И вие също сте пълни с светлина, знание и блаженство, защото сте изкрити от Бога.
When you become separated from God, like a fish out of water or a spark out of the fire, you lose your light, your knowledge, and your happiness.
И когато вие се отделите от Бога,
Gauravani, sit down.
Както искрата се отделила от огъня или рибата от водата, вие загубвате своята...
Be quiet and listen. So all you have to do is get back into the fire.
Всичко, което трябва да направите, да се върнете обратно в огъня.
All you have to do is reconnect with God.
Или трябва да се свържете отново с Бога.
And then you regain your original, blissful, all-knowing, full of light existence.
И ще възвърнете своето вечно, блаженно, изпълнено със светлина и знание съществуване.
So how does one then reconnect with God?
И въпросът е как човек може да се свърже отново с Бога.
We don't have to imagine how to do that.
Не е необходимо да си въобразяваме, да си представяме как може.
Because God has told us how to do that.
Защото самият Бог ни е казал как да го направим.
In the revealed scriptures of the world, He has taught us how to reconnect with Him.
Във всички свещени писания по света, Той ни е казал как да се свържем с Него.
The Bible is there, the Quran is there.
В Библията, в Корана.
But the most advanced scientific laboratory manual of how you can reconnect with God is called the Bhagavad Gita. It's from India.
най-научната книга, която е като едно лабораторно опътване, как да се свържем обратно с Бога, идва от Индия и се нарича Бхагavad Gita.
The Bhagavad Gita tells you exactly what you need to do to reconnect with God.
Защото Bhagavad Gita ни казва какво точно трябва да направим, за да се свържем отново с Бога.
In the Bhagavad Gita, God speaks himself.
В Bhagavad Gita самия Бог говори.
He says, Man manamavavan bhakto majajji mam namaskuru mam mevaishashi yuktvaivam atmanang matpadayanaha. That's Sanskrit.
Този език се нарича санскрит.
The translation is this. He says, engage your mind always in thinking of me.
Преводът се казва, винаги ангажирай ума си в мисли за мен.
Become my devotee.
Стани мой предан.
Offer your obeisances unto me.
Отдавай ми своята почет.
Worship me.
И ме обожавай.
In this way, being fully absorbed in me, certainly you will come to me.
По този начин, бидейки напълно погълнат от мен, ти ще ме достигнеш.
So this is a simple formula of how to reconnect with God.
Ето това е простата формула как да се свържем отново с Бога.
You just have to remember Him.
Ние просто трябва да го помним.
You have to bow down to Him.
Трябва да му се поклоняме.
You have to worship Him.
Трябва да го почитаме, да го
You have to become His devotee, one who is devoted to Him.
Трябва да се посветим на Него, да му станем предани.
By doing these four simple things,
И правейки тези 4 простички неща,
you become totally absorbed in God 24 hours a day.
ние напълно ще се свържем и ще се потопим в Бога.
And when you leave this body you're in now, you will not die, but your body will die. You see, your soul will live.
И когато напуснете това си тяло, вие няма да умрете, само тялото ще умре.
So if you have trained yourself to always think of God,
И ако сте се обучили винаги да мислите за Бога,
then you leave your present body, you will go to God.
когато напуснете настоящото си тяло,
That is real success.
ще се върнете при Бога и това е истински успех.
More than any success of this world, a person who becomes qualified to go back to God, that is the successful person.
Най-успешната личност в този свят е този, който успее да се квалифицира, за да се върне обратно при Бога.
You don't have to wait for death to go back to God.
Не е необходимо да чакате да дойде смъртта, за да се върнете при Бога.
Because God is also present here.
Защото Бога присъства и тук.
You simply have to learn how to feel His presence.
Вие просто трябва да се научите как да усещате Неговото присъствие.
God is living in your heart.
Бога живее в сърцата ви.
In Sanskrit language, He is called Param Atma,
На санскритски език той се нарича Парам
the super soul.
или свръхдушата.
So God is dwelling in your heart right now.
Така че Бог обитава сърцата ви в този момент.
He's sitting right there in your heart.
Той се намира в вашите сърца.
He's within every atom.
Той се намира и във всеки атом.
He's between every atom.
Дори между атомите.
This is why it is said that God is omnipresent.
Затова се казва, че Богът е всепроникващ.
There is no place you can go where God is not present.
Защото няма място в това творение, където Богът да не присъства.
But you simply have to learn the art of how to connect with Him.
Но вие просто трябва да научите това изкуство, как да се свързвате с Него.
The method of connecting with God is called bhakti or devotion.
Методът, посредством който се свързваме с Бога, се нарича бхакти.
You have developed feelings of love for God.
Вие трябва да развиете чисто чувство на любов към Бога.
So how do you do that?
Как може да направите това?
Let's take a mundane example.
Да вземем един пример от светския живот.
A movie star.
Една кинозвезда.
A person has never met the movie star.
Един човек, да кажем, че никога не се е срещал с кинозвезда.
But they saw the movies.
Но е гледал филмите му.
They saw that person on the movie screen.
Виждал ги на телевизионния екран.
And they liked them very much. Oh, I love that movie star.
И много го харесват. Харесват тази кинозвезда.
And then they go to the the store, they buy a movie star magazine and they read all about their favorite movie star. You see. And they collect all the articles about the movie star. They make a scrapbook for their movie star. And they're always thinking, they write a letter to their movie star's fan club. You see. But they've never met the movie star. But they fall in love with that movie star. Even though they've never met that movie star, they fall in love with that movie star. By thinking about that movie star, by seeing the representation of the movie star on the movie theater screen, by reading about that movie star, now they're completely in love with that movie star. Maybe some of you have had this experience. You fell in love with a movie star. Or a rock and roll star, you see. Many people have this experience. They fall in love with movie stars or rock and roll stars. Even though they've never met them personally, they're completely in love with them. So in the same way, if you will hear about God, if you'll hear about His activities, if you'll see paintings of what God actually looks like, if you will hear the intimate details of His life's activities, you may say, but the Bible doesn't tell all this, and the Quran doesn't tell all this. But the Vedic scriptures in India, they give the detailed knowledge about God. What He looks like, where He lives, what kind of clothes He wears, what kind of songs He likes to sing, what kind of music He's into. Everything, full detailed knowledge is there. His name, He has many names. Everything is there in full detail. So just as you can fall in love with a movie star by hearing about, seeing on the screen in so many ways, completely in love with a movie star, in the same way you can completely fall in love with God, you see. In Sanskrit language, God is called Krishna. Krishna means He's the supreme superstar. Because nobody is more attractive than Him. So you can hear about Krishna. You can see that he wears a peacock feather in his hair. He plays a flute. And he wears a yellow dhoti. This is called a dhoti. But he wears a yellow silk dhoti. And he is a cowherd boy. He likes to herd the little cows, the calves and the cows. And he has a brother named Balaram. And he has some friends like Subal and Madhumangal, who likes to eat the ladus, the type of sweet. So when you hear about Krishna and all His amazing activities, He has a beautiful girlfriend also, and her name is Radharani. When you hear all about Krishna and His amazing activities, and you read the teachings that He gives in the scriptures, you fall in love with Krishna. You become totally absorbed in Krishna. And the whole world then becomes, you see Krishna within everything and everything within Krishna. And all you can do is think of Krishna. Every morning you wake up, you think Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. When you take your shower, you think Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And you always think Krishna, Krishna, he's so beautiful. He's so powerful. He's so renounced. He's so full of knowledge. And he is rich also. He is the richest person in all of existence. He owns everything. And there's nobody more famous than Krishna. Maybe in Burgas you haven't heard of Krishna, but actually he's the most famous person in all of existence. He is the supreme superstar, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. So the more you hear about Krishna, the more you remember Krishna, the more you feel love for Krishna. And because he is God, he doesn't have to come here on Air Bulgaria. He's already present. If you become fully absorbed in love for Krishna, he will reveal himself to you. You will see him. He will appear right here in Burgas. You will see him with your own eyes. And you will know that you've achieved the supreme perfection of existence when you see God. So in this way, this is the real success. In this world we think, well, success is to be a famous musician or a wealthy businessman. That is success. I was formerly a popular musician. But I realized that would not make me happy. So I took to this path of Krishna consciousness. And it's really where it's at. This is where the real happiness is. Krishna consciousness. I've been practicing Krishna consciousness now for 41 years. And it gets better every day. Becomes sweeter and sweeter and sweeter. I never get tired of Krishna, 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 Krishna. We have a mantra we chant. We were singing it earlier. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare is the energy of God. Krishna is God and Rama is God, another name for God. So by chanting this Hare Krishna mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, one becomes more and more happy every day. So we encourage you all to chant this mantra every day, especially in the early morning. Get up and meditate on this mantra. Get up, take your morning shower, and then sit down and meditate on the Hare Krishna mantra for a few minutes. I guarantee you, if you do that, every day that you meditate on Hare Krishna mantra, you're going to have the most wonderful day of your life. I guarantee you. So it doesn't cost any money. It's you don't need any electricity to do it. Even if the power goes out, you can still chant Hare Krishna. You don't need any musical instruments. You don't need anything. You can just go Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, and reconnect yourself with God. And feel the greatest happiness. So, now I can ask if there are any questions.
Искам да питам, понеже натрувам такова известно време. И наистина се чувствам по-добре. И става все по-добре, но не е така, че напълно виждам Бога навсякъде. Тая чиста любов на Бога. Въпросът е време ли, необходимо ли някъде, кое е по-скоро? Търпение или самата практика трябва да?
Since I'm trying this process of chanting for quite some time, and I feel much better, but still I don't experience God directly. I cannot see Him.
Actually, you are experiencing Him directly. You're seeing Him with your ears. That is your ignorance. You're directly seeing God with your ears. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. You're directly seeing God with your ears. Do you think seeing is dependent on the eyes? I say, here's a nice bowl of ice cream. You should see what it tastes like. You say, okay, let me see what it tastes like. No, you see the ice cream with your tongue. If I say, here's really a cool CD. Top 10 CD. Let's see what it's like. You just look at it. No, you put it in your CD player and you hear it. That you see with your ears. So seeing doesn't mean only with the eyes. You can see with your ears, you can see with your tongue. There's so many ways you can see. So you are seeing God by chanting Hare Krishna. And when you become more and more purified by chanting, you will see Him with your eyes also. That is coming. Actually, you're already seeing with your eyes God. You're seeing God with your eyes right now, this very minute. But He's out of focus. By this chanting process, your vision will come into focus and you will see that actually you've been seeing God the whole time. Even with your eyes, you've been seeing God the whole time. You said to bring yourself into focus, that's all. Next question.
Въпросът ми е, в Кришна съзнание трябва да имаме контакт, да създаваме приятели, но къде е границата между това да не се превързваме, както царица Кунти моли Кришна, да не се превързва към ядовете? Къде е разлика, къде е границата?
In Krishna consciousness, when we are preaching, we are advised to make friends with people. But where is the border or the limit, so that we don't become too attached to those people? Like Queen Kunti, she's praying to Krishna to sever her attachment to her relatives.
If you read that purport in Prabhupada's Bhagavatam, he describes about that in detail. Actually, the devotees are not captivated by material affection based on the body. But spiritually they have more affection than a materialist. Prabhupada's heart was softer than any materialistic heart. Unless you feel affection, how you can have compassion? Affection means compassion, means affection. So actually a devotee, one who is fixed in Krishna consciousness, he feels great affection for every single living entity, seeing everyone as Krishna's part and parcel. It's not based on the body. Well, you're my kinsman, so I love you, or you're not my kinsman, so I don't care about you, you see. That's material. If you ask a devotee, well, do you love your family members? He will say, of course I love my family members. You ask him, well, who are your family members? He will say, all living entities. The human beings, the cows, the goats, the ants, the trees, the bees. Every single living entity is my family member. Because he has affection for his family members, he does not eat meat. Would you eat your own family members? Because he has affection for his family members, the cow, he does not eat the cow. So in this way, a devotee is free from material affection, but he has unlimited spiritual affection for every single living entity. That is devotee. Next question.
Шрила Прабхупада казва, че ние трябва да си оставаме смирени и меки. Какво означава?
Srila Prabhupada says that we should always remain humble and meek. What does it mean?
Srila Prabhupada said we should always remain humble and meek. What does that mean? Lord Chaitanya has made it very clear what is the meaning of being humble and meek. He said you should offer all respect to others without expecting any respect for yourself. You see, in material life, if you respect me, I respect you. And if you don't respect me, I will not respect you. You see? That is material life. But spiritual life means, if you respect me, I respect you. And if you do not respect me, I will still respect you. That is humility. Next question.
His question is how to encourage people and devotees to ask questions.
Encourage what?
How to encourage people and devotees to ask questions.
How to encourage people and devotees to ask questions. Well, we're not going to bribe them. If you ask a question, we'll give you a sweet. We're not going to bribe them. How many of you here want to surrender to Krishna? Let's see a show of hands. Who wants to surrender to Krishna? Okay. Well, that's good. Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita says that you should approach the spiritual master and ask questions. So that means those of you who raise your hands that you want to be devotees, spiritual master is here now. So Krishna says you should be asking questions. If you're a devotee of Krishna and the Guru is here, then Krishna orders you, you must ask questions from the Guru. So you have to show Krishna, yes, I'm really your devotee and I'm going to prove it, Krishna, to you. Here is the spiritual master, now I will ask him a question. If Krishna's order doesn't do it, then nothing will. It's the order of Krishna. You must ask questions from the spiritual master. So, are there any more questions? Yeah.
What does it mean to be perfect? Are there any limits to perfection?
Perfection is unlimited. Perfection means to be completely surrendered to Krishna or God. That is perfection. Any other questions?
убиеш животно и да го изядеш и да откъснеш някакъв зеленчук и да го изядеш. Причиняваш еднакво страдание и на едното и на другото. Защо не трябва да ядем месо, а може да ядем зеленчуци? Примерно зеленчуци.
Да. She's asking what is the difference between killing and eating an animal and killing and eating, for example, a vegetable.
Yes. What is the difference between killing and eating a vegetable and killing and eating an animal? Prabhupada told us this in Atlanta in 1975. I was there, and Prabhupada told us, actually, there's no difference.
Аз бях в Атланта в 1975 година и Прабхупад ми каза там, че всъщност няма разлика.
It's like you may kill a rich man, or you kill a poor man, you're still guilty of murder.
Както, например, може да убиете един богат човек, може да убиете и беден човек, но
So if you kill an animal and eat, you're a murderer.
Все ще сте отговорни за убийство.
If you kill a carrot and eat it, you're a murderer also. So how will you live? Krishna says, if you'll offer the vegetables to me before you eat them, then I will relieve you of the sin of killing them. He says, I will give that concession for vegetables, but not for meat. So if you don't offer it to Krishna before eating, it's the same thing as killing an animal. And if you do offer it, then it is called prasadam, or spiritual food, and it purifies you. So being a vegetarian is not enough. You have to be a Krishnatarian.
Така че да сте вегетарианец не е достатъчно. Трябва да предлагате храната си на Кришна.
Questions more?
Други някакви въпроси?
Аз лично смятам, че без да се отказваш от православието, може да практикуваш, да се интересуваш от източните религии. Кришна, Буда, източните религии.
He thinks that one can be interested in Eastern philosophy and religion like Krishna and Buddha and things like this, even without giving up Christianity.
Yes, that is true. He's thinking that one can be interested in Eastern thought without giving up Christianity. That's true because Christ also went to India. Between the ages of 12 and 30, Christ went to India. He also studied Eastern religion. So actually religion is one, it's not Eastern or Western. Religion means to become a lover of God. The Bhagavad Gita teaches love of God, the Bible teaches love of God, the Quran teaches love of God.
всички свещени писания ни учат на любов към Бога.
So actually religion is one thing.
Така че религията е една.
But we imagine, oh, there's this religion and that religion. That is man's invention. Religion is actually one thing.
Това, че има различни религии е измислено от хората. Тя всъщност е само една.
So, if you become Krishna conscious person, you become the best Christian automatically.
И ако станеш Кришна осъзнат човек, ти ставаш автоматично най-добрия християнин.
Or if you become a perfect Christian, you're automatically Krishna conscious.
Или пък ако станеш съвършен християнин, ти автоматично си Кришна осъзнат.
So actually, just like there's Mount Everest,
както има планината Еверест,
you may go up the northern face, the southern face. But once you achieve the top, you have achieved the top of the mountain. It doesn't matter how you came up.
Независимо от къде подходиш към върха, дали от източната или от западната и южната страна.
So, whether you attain pure love of God by chanting Hare Krishna or by chanting Allah Akbar or by chanting Praise Jesus, it's the same thing.
Така че независимо как постигнеш любов към Бога, дали като възхваляваш Кришна.
Pure love of God is pure love of God.
Чистата любов към Бога си е чиста любов.
Whether you're a Christian, a Hare Krishna, a Buddhist, or whatever you may be, if you have pure love of God, it's the same thing for everybody.
Независимо дали почиташ Кришна или си будист или мюсюлманин.
If you become a saint, you're a saint, that's all.
Ако станеш светец, ти си светец, независимо.
A saint means someone who has pure love of God within their heart.
Светец означава някой, който има чиста любов към Бога.
A true saint is beyond any material designation.
Истинският светец се намира отвъд всички материални обозначения.
He's beyond Hindu, Christian, Jew, Jain, Buddha, Sikh. He's beyond all these designations. He's a saint.
Той не е хинду, не е евреин, не е християнин, мюсюлманин, сик или джайнист. Той е светец.
So I appreciate your point very much.
Така че аз много ценя вашето разбиране.
Questions more?
Някакви други въпроси?
Question? Yeah.
В Адхикари има снимки, където са дадени образи на хора и половината е на животни. Може ли да обясните кой процес точно е даден като момент? Когато човек не може да отработи някои характеристики, които го отдалечават от Бога, това ли е момента, който е даден и приема животинската форма? Това...
In the Bhagavad Gita there are pictures, illustrations which show a half face of a man and of an animal. And she's asking, what does this represent when someone cannot overcome his animalistic nature and then turns away from God and becomes an animal?
So what about it?
What does these pictures represent?
Yes, the pictures. For example, it shows some woman who's posing on a porno magazine.
Например, там се показва на тези картини някоя жена, която позира за някакво порно.
She's making herself naked for the porno magazine.
Тя се съблича гола за това списание.
And it shows in her next life she's becoming tree.
И е показано, че в следващия живот тя става дърво.
Because the tree stands naked all the time, you see.
Защото дървото стои голо през цялото време.
So it shows you how by living in a certain way now, you're creating your next body.
Това показва как живеейки по определен начин, ние създаваме следващото си тяло.
That's what it's illustrated.
Това е което е показано на тези картини.
So if you will chant Hare Krishna,
затова ако повтаряш Харе Кришна,
then you're creating a spiritual body.
Ти създаваш своето духовно тяло.
It will never get sick, it will never get old, and never die.
Което никога няма да се разболее, да остарее и да умре.
It shows somebody who eats anything without any discrimination. They'll eat anything. They don't care what it is. They'll eat anything.
Там се показва също човек, който яде всичко без никакво разграничение.
So in their next life they become a pig.
Следващия си живот такъв човек става свиня.
So in this way, one should be careful how you live your life.
Затова човек трябва да внимава с какво се как живее живота си.
That's the point.
Това е смисъл на тези илюстрации.
Any other questions?
Други някакви въпроси?
Как можем да напреднем в Кришна съзнание?
How to advance in Krishna consciousness.
The way to advance in Krishna consciousness is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, chapter 3, text 21.
Начинът за напредване в Кришна съзнание се описва в Шримад Бхагаватам 11.2.31.
Tasmad gurum prapadyecha jigyashu shreya uttamam. You should take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master by initiation. That's how you really start to advance. For example, let's say I want to become a really good guitar player. You see. But I don't really know how to play the guitar. What will I do? I'll find an expert teacher, you see. I'll become a student of an expert guitar teacher, and this way I can very quickly become an expert guitar player. So you need to take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master by initiation. That's how one advances quickly on the pathway back to Godhead. I know this from my own experience. I was a spiritual seeker for many years. Wandering here, wandering there, wandering so many places, I could not make any advancement. But when I accepted Guru, when I became disciple of Prabhupada, then I advanced very quickly. And I've been advancing non-stop for 41 years now. So you need to have Guru. You need to surrender to Guru. That is how you make very rapid advancement back to God.
Thank you very much for the answer.
Hare Krishna. Now you do that. You take shelter of bona fide Guru. Yeah. Next question. Yeah.
What is the best way to preach the science of God?
By your example. If you want to convince others of this science, that you become a perfect example of this science. So how does one set the perfect example? By always making a good show? No. By always keeping your mind fixed in Krishna. Always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna, not even for a minute. And then automatically you will be the most qualified person to introduce everyone to Krishna. Because you're always thinking of Krishna. And you're never forgetting Krishna. Next question.
Проблемът с други религии да стигнат до Господ на пътя на Кришна.
Have you tried by following other religions to attain God before attempting with Krishna?
Oh yes. I tried so many things. It didn't work. I went to one guru. I even took initiation from another guru. He taught me one mantra. Actually, his disciple did the initiation. They gave me one mantra. I had to pay money to get initiated. Initiation fee. He taught me one mantra. Aing, 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 like that. I was supposed to meditate on it silently for 20 minutes a day, twice a day for 20 minutes each.
Трябваше да медитирам върху нея по 20 минути на ден сутрин.
It did nothing for me.
Но това не ми донесе нищо.
And then I went to the Pentecostal Christian church.
След това отивам в една християнска църква.
And they had a thing they called talking in tongues.
И те имаха едно нещо, което се наричаше...
That you go like a madman and you go... and God is supposed to be talking through you, you see. And they all surrounded me and they said, "No, you can do it too. You can talk in tongues. Come on, you can do it." And I was thinking, this is ridiculous, you know. So I went to so many different gurus. I went to one guru, he said, everyone's an avatar. I went to another guru, he said, I'm God, you're God, we're all God. I went to another guru, he said, the way to bring happiness in the world is we should all live underground and turn the surface of the earth into a park. He was a famous guru. His name was Dr. Timothy Leary. So I heard so many preachers. I went to hear Billy Graham. He's a famous Christian minister. Billy Graham. I mean, I used to go to church camp every summer and study the Bible. I mean, I did everything. You know, I tried so many things. But nothing could give me the peace and the happiness that I saw. Nothing. Until I came to Krishna consciousness. This process works. This is the authorized system. Gauravani, be quiet. Gauravani, be quiet. Gauravani, be quiet. Sit. Be quiet. Okay, any other question? Yes.
Извинявам се, че за втори път. Най-кратките правила за една медитация. Може ли? Най-краткият начин.
Can you give the shortest way to meditate? What is the shortest way?
Yes. Here's the way that you get up early in the morning.
Ставаш рано сутрин.
Before the sunrise.
Преди изгрева на слънце.
Take your bath or your shower.
Изкъпваш се от душа.
Do we have any japa beads here?
Имаме ли тук някаква броеница?
For sale?
За продажба, за продаване.
We have them for distribution? No, we don't. Huh?
No, they don't have here in the center.
You have some at the center.
Yes, at the center.
So then, until you get the beads, you can just chant in your mouth. But you should get some beads. The devotees here can get you some beads. You should sit down at least for 10 or 15 minutes. Just sit peacefully somewhere in a comfortable place in your home, and you should just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare for 10 or 15 minutes every morning. These are the holy names of God. God is personally present in these sound vibrations. So by chanting this mantra every morning, you are directly associating with God Himself. So every day for 10 or 15 minutes, you should chant Hare Krishna. And then when they get the beads, when you get the beads from the devotees, you chant every day. You do 2 rounds. That takes 10 or 15 minutes. 2 times around the beads. They'll show you how to do it. Try to go deep. Just imagine you're diving into an ocean. That God's names are the ocean. And you're diving into the ocean of the names of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just go deeper and deeper and deeper into that ocean of the names.
все повече и все повече се задълбочавате в океана на святото име.
And when you come out of your meditation, you're going to feel really, really good. You're going to feel better than you ever felt in your whole life.
И когато излезете от своята медитация, ще се чувствате
And every day it'll keep getting better and better and better.
много по-добре, отколкото когато
The deeper you go, the more happiness you'll find.
И колкото по-надълбоко медитирате, толкова по-щастливи ще ставате.
I think we'll stop here.
Може би ще спрем тук.
And we thank you all very much for your interest in our talk today, about how to become successful.
И много ви благодаря за вашия интерес.
Hare Krishna.
Темата, която приехме днес, как да бъдем успешни. Харе Кришна.